Welcome back to House Rich, the home of the world's best home buying tips. So today we're going to talk about 6 questions to ask your lender. So yes, you need to be asking your lender questions. This is the biggest financial decision of your life. You need to interview your lender. So before we get into the episode, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Coins and Culture on Instagram. The word coins, the letter N, the word world culture. They are the home of the world's best home buying tips. Most definitely got a lot of dope content on that page. So let's get into our topic of the day. 6 questions you need to ask your lender. So first and foremost, you need to ask them, do you match quotes? And so it's super important to ask if you match quotes because most lenders will, but some lenders may not match quotes, or there may be a different threshold on what quotes they will match. So there could be a huge threshold between like brokers and your traditional lenders, or your direct lender, traditional lenders. I think like Rocket Mortgage, Wells Fargo, people that are actually handling the loan and not just being a middleman like a broker is. And so the reason I want to ask that because they could be they could kind of hit the check box, sorry, on the next 5 questions. But if they don't match quotes, you may be in a bad deal until you've invested all this energy and time into the loan just to go with somebody who you can't close with at the end. And so that saves your time. It saves that lender's time as well. And so if you really want to impress your lender, don't only ask them do they match quotes, ask within how many basis points, because they'll know, they know, the deal as far as being informed on the home buying process. And so most lenders will match within like I'm throwing this off 250 basis points, or 250 basis points. And so if you want to go get a little bit deeper dive into how basis points work and how to accurately match quotes, you can grab one of my grab one of Coins and Cultures. You can grab one of the You can grab one of the courses in the link of this description. But I have a spreadsheet there where it goes over how to accurately match and compare quotes between lenders, and what to look at, and what basis points mean what. But like on $100,000 loans, on $100,000 loan, 250 basis points can be 2,000. It's like $2,500. So that's a huge difference, or a huge potential difference between rates, and that could actually be the difference of. So don't get confused here, but that could actually be the difference between like an eighth of a point all the way up to like maybe 3/8 of a point as far as your interest rate. That different in basis points. So basis points and the eighth of a point your interest rate come in are 2 different things. Don't get confused by that. Points and all that. So don't get confused by that. But that could be a huge savings for you. Or that can be a huge difference in fees and costs and all that, knowing which how many basis points they are within as far as going to match. And so the next question you want to ask them is, what are your turn times? So that's super important, because if a lender can't close the loan within the time frame within your local market, once again, no matter how great they are, like, it doesn't really matter, because especially in this market, there could be like escalation clause in the contract. The seller could walk away too. So don't forget, like, when you enter into a contract, like, you pay them earnest money, which is your skin in the game, which protects the seller in case you walk away late in the process. So they could be like, it's a hot market. We have a bunch of other backup offers. Maybe if somebody came in after they already signed the deal, and you said we're offer, above what they ask, and so, we can just keep the earnest money and then put the home back on the market, and they might go into contract again in a couple of days. So, like, if they can't close on time, or they can't close within the time frame that's standard for your market, it doesn't matter. And so, also, it depends what program you're looking at. Excuse me there. But different loan programs between different lenders have different close turn times too. So, like, I was at a lender where we could comfortably close certain loans within 14 days, but other types of loans took like 45 to 60 days. I'll just say FHA loans took like 45 to 60 days. So if you know that if you're going to be in the FHA basket and you are going with the lender I was at, like 45, 65 days, 60 days may not get it done in your market. So like if you're going under contract, you're like, hey, we're making an offer, we need a closing date 45 to 60 days from now. The seller may be like, hey, we're not even going to consider your offer, because another lender may be in the 20 to 30 day window. So if the offers are similar, the turn times are automatically going to, excuse me, the time to close is automatically going to trump your long drawn out offer there. And so also long term times are indicative of like a clunky or slow or slow underwriting process, a mortgage process in general. So like if they're quoting you a super long turn time, they mean their ducks may not all be in a row. So maybe they're not the lender to go with anyways. If they say, hey, we need 45, 60 days to close this loan, when the standard in your market maybe it's probably like 30 days there. So number 3, what loan programs do you the lender, do you specialize in? Not ones that you have available, which ones do you specialize in? That's super important because different loan programs have different guidelines. So like as a lender, I have never in my life done a USDA loan. So I'm probably not the lender to do a USDA loan for you. I could probably get the job done, but here's the thing. The more experience a lender has and the more times they've done a certain type of loan, the more problems they've run into, so the more ways they know how to pivot. So that's super important because every lender messes up. Every lender makes mistakes. I mean, the guidelines are this thick. Every lender is not going to know every single guideline. A lot of times you find out when the underwriter says, hey, this or that, or something unfortunate happens. That's obviously that's all the time, but often lenders find out about, or your loan officer finds out about guidelines that way, because no matter how great your loan officer is, they're not going to know the guidelines as well as the underwriter. I mean, that's just what it is. So you want to know what loan programs they specialize in and how long they've been working on those loan programs. Because like I said, if you're going to have conventional is a pretty basic, straightforward loan, but like when you're looking at like particularly FHA is pretty straightforward too. But when you're looking at like VA and like USDA loans, those are kind of like, those are a little bit different, have different guidelines as far as needing maybe a lender that specializes in those type of loans. And so that dovetails into my next question, or my next next question. How long have you been in the business? So like I said, experience means that they probably had more they probably run into more items and know more ways to pivot than somebody that's new. Being new obviously is no harm there. I mean, everybody's been new. Being new, they may be more eager to work with you or more eager to take your phone calls. If you got a wily veteran that's closing 100 loans plus loans a year, they may be more procedure, like, hey, this is the way I do things. I don't got time to answer your phone calls, after hours and all this. This is the way I do it. I got my book of business, either take it or leave it. So, like I said, experience is not necessarily a good or bad thing, which goes into my next question. What are your working hours? So, like I said, you could be with and this is not a bad thing by any means, but there's some lenders that are, like I said, they've been in the game for years, 10, 15 years. They got their book of business. They're doing, 5 figures a month as far as income. They're closing triple digit loans a year. And they're just like, hey, I've been doing this 10, 15 years. I was a new loan officer. I went through my bumps. I went through the calls. I went through the late hours and all this. I've established myself now. Now I don't want to deal with the stuff. I'm working a 9 to 5. I don't want to deal with calls after 5, 6 o'clock. I don't want to talk to you in the weekend. I don't want to have to train you super hard on this and that. You need to come to me prepared. And so, like I said, they've earned that. So that's your choice to say, hey, that's a lender I want to work with or not work with, or not work with. But that's why you want to know what their working hours are. Because if you're a green thumb person and you need a lot of attention, you need to talk to a lender that's going to be able to take your calls on the weekends and do this or that and answer calls after hours and give you special attention. So you need to make sure that is the lender for you. And so last but not least, if you're looking for down payment assistance or you need one of those programs, you want to ask the lender, pay attention to this one. You want to ask the lender, what down payment assistance programs are available for me? Not which ones they have, which ones are available to me. Those are two different questions. So when it comes to down payment assistance, lenders typically have to be certified in that down payment assistance program. So there could be a down payment assistance program available to Dallas County, but the lender's not certified to lend on that. The lender cannot offer that to you, and therefore they will never bring that down payment assistance program up to you unless you ask them, which is why you ask them which ones are available, not which ones that they have specifically. And then ask them which ones they have as well. Like certain lenders have certain programs as well. Like the thing I did in the past video, I did one that like Chase has, Bank of America has, Wells Fargo has, as far as your major lenders. And there's also certain like county stuff. Like there's the one I think here for like Dallas County where I'm saying you can get like $30,000 or something wild like that. But all lenders aren't certified to lend though. So knowing what programs your lender is certified to lend in is super important. So yeah, there we go. Those are 6 questions to make sure you ask your loan officer. If you watch this long and not subscribed to the channel, hit the button down on one of those things and subscribe. Share this with a friend. The YouTube, the podcast, it all helps me grow. Looking to become the #1 platform in the world for home buyer education. And I hope you can help me get there. So thanks for listening. Thank you for your support. And until we meet again.